Hello and welcome to Buddhistdoor Global's weekly news review. I'm Justin Whitaker, senior correspondent for BDG, speaking to you from our offices in Hong Kong. In this week's news, in Japan, the remains of a 9th century Buddhist pagoda and hall have been found at the site of a temple in Kyoto. The stone foundations for a 9th century Buddhist teaching hall and a 5-story pagoda have been uncovered at the site of a long-vanished Buddhist temple in Kyoto, city officials announced on Friday. The structures would have been part of an ancient temple called Saiji, which was founded in 796, together with the still existent temple of Toji, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site at the Historic Monuments of Ancient Kyoto. The construction of the temples followed the relocation of the Japanese capital of Heikyo, one of the several former names of what is now Kyoto, in 794, marking the beginning of Japan's Heian period. According to the City of Kyoto's Department for the Protection of Cultural Assets, the finds mark the first ever discovery of structural remains from Saiji. The Dalai Lama has hinted at the possible end of the reincarnate Lama system. During a meeting with students in Dharamsala on the 25th of October, His Holiness the Dalai Lama suggested that the long-standing institution in Tibetan Buddhism of reincarnate lamas or tulkus may be coming to an end. Placing his statements in the context of changing political realities, the Dalai Lama noted that, quote, "Institutions need to be owned by the people, not by an individual. Like my own institution, the Dalai Lama's office, I feel like it is linked to a feudal system. The system should change or change at least with the changing times. There have been cases of individual lamas whose use of reincarnation to get their way, but never paid full attention to the study of wisdom," end quote. The remarks follow a long history of the Dalai Lama contemplating the future of the institution and system of power entrusted to reincarnated lamas. In the United States, the congregation of a California Buddhist temple has gathered in support of evicted monks. The doors of the Cambodian Khemara Buddhikarama Buddhist Temple in Long Beach, California, were secured under lock and key on the 15th of October after the temple's board won a court eviction proceedings in September. 3 of the temple's resident monks who were evicted from the premises have been staying in cars next to the temple ever since, and have been joined by numerous congregants who have set up tents, tables, and chairs in the area in a show of solidarity. As long as participants remain peaceful and do not trespass, the police have reportedly agreed to allow the temporary camp to remain in place. The dispute centers on disagreements about the management of the temple and finances. Currently, the temple board plans to continue with the eviction and eventually replace the head monk of the temple. 1,500 Dalits have converted to Buddhism seeking social equality in India. The Dalits embraced Buddhism in a mass conversion ceremony in the Indian state of Gujarat on the 27th of October. The ceremony was held in Ahmedabad, in the southwest of the state, approximately 300 kilometers north of Mumbai, Maharashtra, a major center for the ongoing Ambedkarite movement and other Dalits seeking social advancement through conversion to Buddhism. The mass conversion was organized by the Buddhist Light International Association, BLIA, which is associated with Fo Guangshan, the largest Buddhist organization in Taiwan, founded by Venerable Xinghun. Recent violence against Dalits, especially crimes against women, have been on the rise since 2014 as Hindu nationalists have grown increasingly vocal and active in India. Dalit conversions to Buddhism and occasionally other religions such as Christianity are often done as much out of political protest as acts of religious devotion. Lastly, alarm bells have been sounded over child abuse in Thailand's Buddhist temples. The image of Thailand's monastic Sangha, which has been tarnished in recent years by a growing litany of scandals involving corruption, misconduct, and impropriety, has once again come under scrutiny in light of recent reports about a 51-year-old temple abbot accused of detaining and sexually abusing a 13-year-old novice monk. In a scathing editorial published last Wednesday, a veteran Thai journalist lamented that reports of sexual misconduct among Thailand's Buddhist monastics have become so frequent as to become almost commonplace. She observed that without sincere reforms and greater transparency, Buddhist temples would remain breeding grounds for abuse and could no longer be considered safe sanctuaries for the nation's children. In response to the situation, the Thailand-based International Network of Engaged Buddhists recently pledged to form a working group to engage with lay and monastic leaders with a view of addressing systemic abuse. That is all for this week's BDG News Review. Let us know what you think in the comments below. What is your favorite story this week? What would you like us to report on more? In the meantime, be sure to check out our website, www.buddhistdoor.net, for these stories along with features and special coverage of Buddhism around the world.